Cessna over the threshold, coming up on the white dot, outer beyond the white dot, left turn first available. I got a high wind coming up on about a half-mile final, clear to land outer beyond. Traffic on the left face, you're following a Cessna down, low off your left. Square it up just a little bit, and then we're going to get you in. Start your descent, though. Start your descent on the base. Traffic on final, give me follow on base. Base traffic, start turning toward the numbers now. High wing coming up on quarter-mile final, take it all the way down to the green. Cessna taxiing on the green, expedite down to the next hard surface. Get me some speed, there you go, 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 go fast. This is going to be good. I got traffic on a mile final. You're following traffic ahead and to your right. High wing coming up on the threshold. Take it all the way down to the green dot.
5 Charlie Sierra, 2 mile final.
A mile final, turn north, and we're going to just make you, we're going to bring you back around. Jet traffic's coming up on about a mile and a half final. Runway 9 clear to land.
Okay, all right, let's listen up, guys. If you're on final for runway 9, I want you offset to the left. I got a jet that's landing on runway 9. The jet's cleared to land runway 9 if you can make it. If not, just continue straight ahead. It looks like you're going around for the jet. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine.
Oh, we had one right in front of us, sir.
Dragger. Let's see, what we got, a tricycle, put it down, tricycle, put it down, tricycle, put it down. Tail dragger, down to the green dot, then a left turn. Short final here, you cleared to land on 9, all the way to the white dot, go down to the white dot. Find somebody to follow out here. Canard, just come to the runway and I might have to just send you around. That'll be fine. And for the jet, you just want to stay in this pattern or you want to go back out for an instrument approach?
Stay in a pattern, Charlie Sierra.
All right, just stay with me here for a minute. And my tail dragger, let's see, over the numbers, go down to the green. And Canard's going to have to go around. Canard, go around. Canard, go around. Canard, go around. And my high wing here over the runway, keep it airborne. Keep it airborne. Do not descend. Do not descend. You got a fast guy behind you. Do not descend. There you go. Keep it airborne. Keep it airborne. As soon as the guy behind you gets slowed down, I'm going to put you down. So keep it airborne. The one that just passed the white dot, make a left turn on the hard surface. All right, my high wing tail dragger, you can put it down now. You can put it down now. And Charlie Sierra, let me get you about a mile off. Let's see, Charlie Sierra, lost. There you are. Make a left-hand turn. I'll try to resequence you here on the downwinds. We'll see how it looks. Short final, you're clear to land runway 9 on the white dot. Clear to land on the white dot. There you go. And the tricycle left on the hard surface and follow the flagman. Welcome. Thanks for being part of the show. And let's see, just find somebody to follow out follow on the final. And as you get close to the runway, if it's not going to work, we're going to send you around and then try to resequence you. Now, who else got sent around that's not back on the downwind? The Canard?
Yeah, Canard.
All right, Canard, there's a Gulfstream up there that went around too. I just lost sight of him, but you're going to make kind of a left-hand turn and stay low. I think Charlie Sierra, what's your altitude?
3,200.
Okay, that'll be fine. Just maintain VFR. I don't know what else is up there above you. Probably most everybody's down here, so just make a left-hand turn. We'll try to get you back here.
Canard's got the jet in tight.
Okay, the RV, maybe an RV-10, whatever, you're on final. Keep your speed up and go all the way down to the, aim for the green dot for me. Actually, keep your speed up. There's a guy behind you. Aim for the green dot, and I'm sure that's plenty of room for you to land on runway 9. You're clear to land on runway 9. Number 2, you're going to go down to the white dot. Follow the white dot. Actually, you know what? That's 1,500 feet. You're going to land at the white dot. The spacing looks adequate here. 2 guys on final. You're kind of tight there. Keep each other in sight, and you're going to aim for the white dot. If it's not going to work, we'll come up with a plan B. We might have to send you around. The second guy behind you out there in about a 2-mile final. Are you slow enough to be able to follow that guy in front of you? You need to go around. Well, I probably shouldn't ask that because I had about 5 guys answer me, so I should know better than that after 35 years, you would think, right? All right, so let me see. The guy who's number 1, it's number 1. What kind of airplane is he? An RV type. All right, RV type. Keep it airborne for me. Keep it airborne. And I got a fast guy behind you. The number 2 guy over the trees there. Go ahead and put it down on the numbers. Put it down on the numbers. My first guy just coming up on the numbers at the over the grass at the numbers. I want you to keep it.
T-minus 1 minute and counting.
Hello.
Four, three, two, one.
Hello. Hello.
Where's Ian?
If only. So it's just so bloody lovely out there. I came up to the studio. I came up to my table here, opened the window, and thought, oh, it's just amazing out there. So I'm really thank you very, very much for joining us live. If you're watching us live, thank you very much. It's an absolutely gorgeous evening. Obviously, we have a whole load of airfields in this country where they roll up the runway and take them away, so you can't be flying now. But if you could be flying now and you're here instead, thank you. Dave's already put the pressure on, so we should be. You're right. We absolutely should be, but we aren't. I'm awfully sorry, but we aren't. So before we go on, a couple of thanks. First of all, big thanks to our sponsors, Sky Demon. Thank you very much for supporting the live stream. Tonight's tip, which is coming your way just in a few minutes' time, is tip number 50, believe it or not. The live stream tip on Sky Demon for 50 weeks. I'm amazed, and they're all great tips. And tonight's another. I knew a little bit about tonight's, but I didn't know the deeper stuff. So some good stuff about tonight's. The other thing I wanted to say thank you for was we sent out an email earlier on about 6:30 from me explaining what was happening next week with the paywall coming down, and we've already had a whole bunch of orders coming in from people who've decided to join the Flyer Club. So thank you very much for doing that. If you haven't managed to do it yet, then don't do it right now. Watch the show, but maybe later on afterwards, or if we haven't upset you, that is between now and then, or tomorrow, join. As you can see, there's only 4 days left before the paywall comes down. I've got a new felt tip pen, so I've been adding lots of signs and stuff like that. Anyway, that's enough about me. I need to change this and give you this week's Sky Demon tip. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Tim from Sky Demon. Welcome to today's top tip. Our Flyable Conditions feature is a great tool to quickly see whether the forecast conditions fit with your own definition of good, marginal, or not flyable. Turn on the overlay here in the weather menu. Now the map is zoomed out, you can instantly see red areas, which aren't flyable, orange areas, which are marginal, and the clear areas are good. Tap on the little eye here to get a key reminding you of the preferences you've set for this display. Down here in Virtual Radar we can also see the forecast thickness of the lowest cloud layer. It's pretty thick here, so let's increase the height of Virtual Radar to see if we can fly on top. We still can't see the top, so let's press and hold to bring up the What's Here screen, where we can see the top is almost 10,000 feet. Not much chance of finding a hole and flying on top here. For more information on any of our features, go to skydemon.aero and choose Help and Support.
My God, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I knew about flyable conditions, but I didn't know about the sort of press here and see this and see that. And I'm sure Simon, who I can see waiting in the green room, who I know had a hand in the old flyable conditions thing, he may well add to that. We might put him on the spot later. So let me.
Nick Allen, that's very kind, Nick, but we're here to bring you the show.
We are here to bring you the show. Actually, let's have a quick poll, because we were having a discussion in the office, the virtual office, that is, the other day, about whether the live stream should take a 2 or 3 week break during the summer to give us time to plan some other stuff and to go on holiday and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. It would be fair to say that opinion is split on that. We're not all going, yeah, we must take a break, and there are other people going, yeah, no, we can't. The show must go on, for God's sake. So, what do you think? Let us know gently, please. Right, let's bring in. No.
Thank you, Adrian. Yeah, it's coming.
That's no what?
I think all the people going no. It's welcome to our new guest presenters.
For what it's worth, I'm with the don't take a break. But there you go.
Let's take August off.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves a break. Well, even the audience deserve a break, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. Let's bring in Simon. I don't think I've forgotten anything. Hello, Simon. How are you?
Evening, all. I'm very well, thank you. Are you?
I'm very well. Yes, absolutely. Have you been? Let me see if I can. Oh no! There you go. That's what I want to do.
There we are. There we are.
Have you been flying?
You know what? I haven't been. I'm just looking outside now, thinking it's absolutely gorgeous. But no, I haven't. I'm in isolation due to an upcoming holiday. So I had to be in isolation all week long. So yeah, I've been looking out the window thinking, it's just typical, isn't it? It'll change as soon as I get back, won't it?
You just,
yeah, I'm very, very envious. Very envious of anybody who's able
get
to
isolated because of you need to keep your shirts like ready for a holiday.
Exactly. They need to be in pristine condition. That's how they've got to be kept. Actually, I've just kept the world safe from me. That's all.
Just like your good self, Simon.
That flyable conditions is good, isn't it, Skydeep?
Very good.
Yeah, got to be careful how you use it. Be very, very careful. My only concern with it, and Tim's aware of it, is I wouldn't want people actually using it as a go no go. So just be really, really careful of that. But it's great to give you an overview of conditions. And as Tim mentioned there, that depth of cloud thing is really, really clever. But yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? Love it.
It is. Talking of brilliant, let's see how long it takes me to get your weather map. Oh, there you go.
Hey, look at that. Excellent. We got some big black lines on that, hasn't we? How's that? Is that better? Yeah, it is, isn't it? There we are. So, you know what? It looks like being a cracking weekend out there. High pressure's in control. Now, it is high pressure that has a westerly wind kind of coming around the top of it. And what that's doing is bringing in quite a bit of moisture off the Atlantic. So I think there will be a fair amount of cloud around this weekend. Probably not that much across the far south of England, but elsewhere there is going to be some cloud. Also, we've got these sort of weak fronts dragging through into the area of high pressure. But you can see there the pressure is really high, 1,032 millibars, 1,028 millibars down the isobar here. So these fronts are only ever very, very weak. But they will bring some cloud on Friday across parts of Scotland, across Northern Ireland. Bases across the west, probably about 1,000, 1,500 feet. So pretty low, particularly for Western Scotland. Eastern Scotland, though, looking much better there with the bases around 3,500 to 4,000 feet. And really across England and Wales, broken cloud, best of the sunshine, as I said, down towards the south, and typical bases around 3,000 to 4,000 feet. Although on the cloud ceiling forecast here, you can see how out towards the west we've got a few sort of yellow and orange colours, showing just a few lower bases coming up through the Irish Sea. But generally, it is a cracking day on Friday. Now, for Saturday, again, this warm front comes into the west of Scotland, but it's in high pressure. So for most of it, doesn't cause too much concern for most of us. For much of the country, it looks like been a fair day. Well broken cloud again. Base is getting up at around about 3,500, 4,000 feet, and the tops on the cloud at about 8,000 feet. Visibility is good as well. It does get quite warm on Saturday, if not hot across the southeast. We're looking at about 30 degrees here, widely sort of 25 to 28 degrees. And I always use this rule of thumb that when the temperature's above 28 degrees, we should expect moderate turbulence just because of the temperature in the UK. So do expect it to be a little bit bumpy during Saturday afternoon. Saturday morning, Saturday evening flights are always going to be better. A little bit of drizzle later getting into northwestern parts of Scotland, but as that warm front comes in, and if you see there, see the cloud ceiling forecast, how it's got that red low cloud off the west of Ireland, that kind of just edges a little bit further eastwards into western Scotland during the evening. But for most, it is going to be fair. And then Sunday, still got the high pressure there. This warm front kind of topples down over the top of us. All it really has is some moisture associated with it, and it leaves most of that again across western parts of Scotland. Here, base is probably about 1,000 to 2,000 feet, a little bit of drizzle for western Scotland. But for other areas, it's another fine, warm, sunny day. Base is about 4,000 feet, tops at about 6,000 to 7,000 feet. The cloud well broken, though, and very, very little cloud across southern and eastern areas. Once again, though, with temperatures between around 24 and 30, perhaps even a 31 degree, expect it to be quite bumpy during the middle part of the day. But at least forewarned is forearmed, isn't it? So it looks like being a wonderful weekend. If you want to know more about forecasting, how you can build your own confidence in doing the forecasting yourself and put me out of a job, then come along to Aviation Weather School. My next online course is on the Saturday mornings of the 3rd and the 10th of September. It's presented entirely live by me. Lucky you. Go to weatherschool.co.uk to book your place now, and I look forward to seeing you there. Have a fantastic weekend and enjoy this high pressure. See you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
That might be our best weather forecast yet.
Absolutely amazing. Well, there you go, Dave. I hope that's lived up to the pressure of not flying tonight. We've organised a great forecast for you. So there you go. Brilliant. Good. I've got a funny feeling that I've forgotten something. I just can't remember what it is at the moment. So if anyone can remember, let me know. But failing that, let's move straight into the news and led off by young Dave, as it were, following his forum thread on how when are you too old. So, young Dave, tell us about your lead news story.
Right. Well, the Accident Investigation Branch, Air Accident Investigation Branch, issued a report today about the crash involving Zero Avia's Piper Malibu Mirage last year. You may remember they're testing a hydrogen fuel cell aircraft, and it had a power failure and had to make an off-airport false landing. As you can see here, it's a pretty hard one. The AIB report identifies what actually went wrong, which was when they transferred from the batteries to the hydrogen fuel cell. They actually wanted to change the source, but they did it at a low level, and they couldn't glide to anywhere. They were just too low. And there's a bit of criticism in the report. I'm hesitant in saying all this because they've couched it very carefully, so I'm going to couch it extremely carefully because I don't want to defame anybody. Basically, they said a number of factors contributed to the accident, including what they call ad hoc changes being made to the flight test plan without the knowledge of the competent person in charge of the test under E conditions. A competent person is someone who's a qualified engineer. He's got his qualifications through something like the Royal Aero Club, Royal
Aeronautical Society.
That's the one. And so that person assembles the whole dossier of information and is working with the CAA. The AIB go on to say the competent person's involvement was restricted in a number of areas due to issues within the organisational relationships, the fast tempo of the project, other work commitments and restrictions from the COVID-19 pandemic. They do say the operator's chief executive and flight test director took on the day-to-day management responsibilities for much of the programme. However, neither individual had the necessary safety and flight test experience for that role. So what they're saying, I think, is that the management wanted to push on with the project. As you can understand, it's probably burning up quite a bit of cash. So they want to hit targets and perhaps they
more cash than hydrogen, probably.
And I think the report said that when they turned the battery power off, it spiked something, didn't it? Which gave them an over voltage situation, which shut everything down.
That's right. Yes. What happened was when they selected the battery to off with the intention of being the electrical motors solely powered by the hydrogen fuel cell, the windmilling propeller on the aircraft generated voltage that was enough to operate what's called the inverter protection system, and that locked out the power to the motors, and they were unable to restart. So
unintended consequences, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's what the program's all about.
So that you can have more time to prepare for it.
Yeah. And I guess because they'd started off operating under the US experimental conditions, hadn't they? Which is very different to, and I guess if you transfer a program like that to the UK E conditions program, while it sounds similar, is quite, it's still very free. It's a very kind of freeing thing, but it's much more restrictive than operating under experimental.
Yes, there's quite a bit about all that in the report. I've just pulled out the key pieces at the moment, but it's a very in-depth report, you have to say. Yeah, really in-depth.
Probably some good human factor stuff to learn in there. I think E stands for exacting, doesn't it, in the UK?
Yes.
Yeah. Right, jolly good. So, go and have a read of that report. There's some good lessons to be learned in there.
Yes. You mean turning it off and on again didn't work? No.
Unfortunately not. Right, talking of electrical stuff, EASA has become the first authority in the world, apparently, to issue a whole load of proposed rules that cover operations, organisation, flight crew licensing, all sorts of other things for the upcoming air mobility market that we're all expected to turn the skies grey, just like the VLJs did. You'll be maybe not surprised, probably not surprised to know that operators will need to have an AOC, which will have to be got in just the same way that everybody gets an AOC now. Pilots will have to be commercial, be that CPLA or CPLH, and then they'll have to have a rating for flying aircraft that can take off vertically, and I guess differences, and there'll be also, I'm sure there'll be type ratings and stuff all over the place. And it was a little bit, I don't think it was as prescriptive as I expected, at least in the part that I read about reserves. You will need reserves but I'm not sure the reserves will be quite as big as we normally expect reserves to be now. But maybe I got that wrong. But anyway, it's an MPA, so it's not written in stone yet, and it's open to everybody to go and comment. So if you'd like to go and comment, it's open until September the 30th. You can be part of influencing the rules on eVTOL urban air mobility. So go fill your boots. We've called it, or I've called it, I should say, probably, so I don't blame everybody else for my bad jokes. EASA rules for unicorns, because I don't know. This whole urban air mobility market seems like massive, and I'm not sure it's going to be that massive, and I'm not sure that we've yet cracked the energy density issue for electric batteries at the moment in a kind of way that enables repeatable, scheduled, or even ad hoc transport for people. But there you go. Who knows? Let's hope I'm wrong.
Somewhere in those rules, does it allow the pilot? Does it allow passengers to turn up and go, "I brought some double A's with me"?
No, funny enough, I don't think so. They're probably not allowed on board, are they?
Yes. So the new news, there's a new safety sense leaflet out from the CAA. So this is the latest in the updates to safety sense leaflets, and this one's all about loss of control. And the CAA guide sets out symptoms of impending stall and how to avoid stall conditions. You've probably been noticing that CAA safety sense leaflets have been updated recently, and there's been a whole bunch from winter flying to balloon airmanship. They're available as a download as a free PDF, and I'll stick a link in the comments. We've had care of passengers, VFR moving maps, winter flying, fuel handling and storage, strip flying, and this latest one, loss of control. And as with the others, this one's a really good update. So check it out.
Yep.
I think we have to give praise where it's due, and the job the CA has done on the new safety sense leaflets is a very good job. I remember starting when I first started flying, there was like a rack in the flying club that had loads and loads of safety sense leaflets, a bit like the recipes at Waitrose, which I believe they have. And you sort of go and get your safety sense, and then they kind of like, I guess they're saving money or something, decided not to print them again, and they were hard to get hold of, and they withdrew them and all sorts of malarkey. But somewhere along the line, someone went, we need to reissue these, and so far they've done a bloody good job. Well done, CA. If only the rest of the organisation.
They were very much part of the tapestry of a flying club, weren't they? It was like map on the wall, safety sense leaflets in a holder. So
there was the faded map on the wall. There was all of the leaflets for the safety sense.
And they'd all gone slightly crinkly.
They'd all gone slightly crinkly, and then there was this kind of like one of these boards with a little clip on we had with a whole load of telex stuff of NOTAMs that had been printed out from a telex machine in the tower. That someone meticulously updated them every day or however often it was. And everyone gave them a jolly good ignoring, because you just, as a little student, you just go like, I have no idea what all of that stuff means, right? Whatever. But there you go. So don't need to give them a good ignoring anymore, thanks to Sky Demon and lots of other people. Right, Johnny.
Yeah, more electric news, isn't it? So Electroflight, this was kind of a surprise to all of us. Electroflight are obviously one of the three companies that were involved in the Axel project, which was now the world's fastest electric aircraft, with Rolls-Royce and EASA. So the company called EVOLITO, or EVOLITO, however you want to pronounce it, has basically bought Electroflight. So that means that, in a nutshell, that the company can supply the motors from EASA and the battery packs from Electroflight, and supply basically a full unit that can be used to plug straight into an airplane. We're kind of short on details. We've got a new story on the website that you can read. We're kind of waiting for a bit more of information out of Electroflight themselves and hear what's going on from their point of view. Hear if there are going to be any changes, if they're going to move from Gloucester, for example, somewhere else. Who knows? But it's good for the company, good for electric aviation in the UK, good for a company that's at the forefront of producing some really good battery technology, and and they've proved themselves with the Axel project alongside Rolls-Royce and EASA. So good news.
They've probably all gone off to spend all their money from selling the company. There you go. Right, Claire B, if you're watching, there's a question coming up for you here. I know you're here, and I mentioned it in the comments. So this question's coming up for you. Who's doing the next story? Dave.
Yes, aircraft story. This is the Pipistrel Velis Electro. It's received type certification from the UKCAA. So it's received full type certification, but it's already had that from EASA. And quite honestly, we thought they just carried it through, but apparently they've reissued it. It also includes the variant models of the Velis Electro, the Explorer, and the Velis Club, which are powered by internal combustion engines. Achieving type certification by the UKCAA is a big milestone for Pipistrel in the UK, as well as within the wider aviation industry, said a chap called Gabriel Massey, who's now the president and managing director of Pipistrel, since it's been taken over by Textron Aviation.
Probably said it with an American accent. So, Claire, the question is, if the Velis Electro is now certified by the CAA, it's been flying for a while in the UK. How was it flying before? Was it sort of flying under EASA certificate? How was that? How did that work? That's the question.
Does it make a difference?
Yeah. So we'll if you fancy replying to that and sticking it in the comments, we'll put it up. If you don't, you can have a go next week, and if not, then we'll try and find out and figure it out. We'll let you know. Right. So where are we going after that? Oh, that's my story. I hadn't. Dave, you might have to help me out here. There was a Transair Women in Aviation do at Brighton Airport, Shoreham, for as far as everyone else is concerned.
Yeah, this is organised by Catherine Maloney, who's director of Transair, and basically an event bringing trying to promote the idea of more women in aviation. But
Catherine's 6 from the left, and I think the person on the left, is that Dorothy? I don't know if she's still called Dorothy Pooley, but Dorothy Pooley. I'm not going to go down that road because I'll probably get in trouble at some stage. Yes, we'll move on from there. Also, there was another thing. I believe there's a bursary by Flight Time Aviation, who are also at Shoreham.
That's right. It's just, well, they call themselves FTA Global these days, and they are working with a company that's called an initiative, really, called Fantasy Wings. And Fantasy Wings is all about trying to improve the chances for people of different minorities, ethnic minorities, to come into aviation, because apparently there's a shortage. Yeah, it's not a natural choice for some people. So anyway, so Fantasy Wings is making it possible for people to come into aviation, and FTA Global gave them a bursary of £10,000 towards one pilot taking their ATPL course. They had an event last Saturday up in London. 500 people turned up for this event. It's a really popular event, and also they had a series of speakers. It reads like a list of royalty from the airline industry. So big event. FTA are going to sponsor it again next year. This time to the tune of 30,000. So 3 £10,000 awards, which is a good start. Not enough to pay for a whole ATPL course, but a good start. Yeah.
Now it's probably a good time to remind you that Pilot Careers Live North is open on Saturday at the Concord Visitor Centre at Manchester Airport. So if you haven't got yourself a ticket, get yourself a ticket and come along there if you're interested in a career in commercial aviation. This will be I don't know if the second or third time we've held it up there, but the last time, which was pre-COVID, the only thing I remember was, because it's in the same hangar that Concord's in, so there's like massive kind of blister hangar. And it was so hot that we had all of the air conditioning units blasting out at 4, and everyone's going, not normally this hot in Manchester. Apologies for the accent and all that stuff.
I think they might be doing that this weekend. With
I was going to say, Steve Simon's weather forecast. They go, it's going to be another sweaty day in the hangar, but it'll be great. There'll be lots of good information. So come along and join us there. That would be good. Yeah. Thank you very much, Claire B.
There's your answer.
Actually, I had just one other thing that I wanted to mention, but I didn't mention earlier because I forgot all about it. This was a thing I was going to talk about. When I was kind of saying, should we take a break? Should we not take a break and stuff like that? We haven't actually figured out exactly what we're going to do in terms of bringing you the live stream on the Oshkosh week, because we'll all be in Oshkosh apart from Johnny. So that won't be a week that we skip. Somehow we'll bring you something from Oshkosh. There'll be so much going on that if you aren't able to go to Oshkosh, we'll find a way to bring Oshkosh to you. Maybe we can even try and get a signal up on the Hilton rooftop bar and set up a little studio there. That would be quite a cool place. Put that on my to-do list, I think, when we get there. So anyway, sorry, moving on. Johnny, last story for you, I believe.
Yeah, and there's the ticker. There we go. Yeah, so the paywall is coming down, going up, being built, whatever you want to call it, on Tuesday next week. So you've got until then to join either as a reader for £30 or join the Flyer Club for £30, and you get a lot more with the Flyer Club. So that's the one to pick. So yeah, if you want to keep accessing all the content and get all the member benefits as well, just head to flyer.co.uk and hit the memberships button. And we've had loads join. I've just looked. We've had nearly 15 people in the past hour join, which is really good. So yeah, if you want to keep access to all our good content, great content, then join before Tuesday.
I think the bottom line is it costs a whole load of money to create content, whether it's the live stream, whether it's the live stream extra, whether it's all the content that goes on the website, whether it's sorting out the free landing fees, whether it's sorting out the events, whether all of that stuff. And we've got plans to do an awful lot more of it. It just costs money to do that. And that money doesn't come out of nowhere. It costs money to run the forum. It all costs money. You know, people, but believe it or not, people understandably want paying wages and bills need paying and stuff like that. And you know, advertising doesn't cover everything, unfortunately. So we need people to join the club. And you know, if you want us to continue to produce content and live stream and the forum and everything else, we'd love you to join. And we kind of need you to join, to be perfectly honest. We can't do it for nothing. So come and join the club. It would be great. And we kind of figure that even if you don't take advantage of the 30 quid offer now, which is good until I think noon on Tuesday, July the 12th, and you pay the 52 quid, that's £1 a week. I kind of figure that £1 a week, I'd like to think that £1 a week offers fantastic value for everything that we put together, all of the content, the forum, the live streams, the videos, etc., etc. So there you go. If you haven't joined already, please join. And if you have joined, more importantly, thank you very, very much from me and everyone at Flyer, from the team. Thank you. Right. Sorry. Moving on. That's enough of that one. Johnny.
Yeah. So we're going to chat about our guests. So tonight we're going to be talking to Bruce Buglass, who is the manager of Sleap Airfield in Shropshire. I'm sure many of you have been. He's currently very busy getting ready for their big flying this weekend, which we'll touch on when we chat to him. And he's also written a really good flying adventure, which we'll be publishing soon on the website, about a journey from Sleap to Glenforsa in a couple of monoplanes, alongside Ben Gilmore and a couple of other guys in a Cub and a Cessna. There's some great stories and great photos to go with that. So we'll get Bruce in now and we'll have a chat with him.
Hello.
Here he is.
Hello. Oh, welcome, Bruce.
Hello.
How are you, Bruce?
Tired.
So you're at the airfield right now.
I am indeed. The radio is still people flying because the weather's so nice, and it's still going, and we've still got a lot to do. There's a lot of mowing, marquee erecting, and all the rest of the jazz to do, but it's all good fun.
Good. So how is life as an airfield manager?
Busy, to say the least, especially when you decide to put on a pretty big event at the weekend as well. But no, it's good. It's basically my hobby and transferred into a job. It doesn't get any better than this. I get to see lots of nice airplanes. I get to be around lots of nice airplanes. I deal with lots of nice people, and no, it's good. I work with a really good team, and yeah, UK's best airfield apparently.
Well,
was that voted by who? Someone called
me.
Bruce.
Yeah, yeah. And there's one or two others that agree. There's quite a few people who don't agree as well, but there we go.
Good stuff. Right,
I think it's definitely up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, according to Sky Demon, we're number 13 in terms of busyness, which we can change. We need to drag the Southerners up north. That's the key way of getting more visitors in. They're renowned to go into southern airfields, which it's a shame because there's so much more to see in the north, or at least in Midlands.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, more northern than Ian's accent just a minute ago. That's for sure.
Right,
Sorry
let's chat about this mono trip to Glenforsa. So how did that come about? Is it something you've wanted to do for a long time?
Yeah, so there we all are. Look at that. All sat on our phones in that picture as well. But no, so myself, Ben, who's the deputy airfield manager and also my good friend, and Tom Bieber and us three decided, and George Bayliss as well, all decided to buy Taylor monoplanes. Ben got one, and then we sort of got a bit jealous, and we decided to buy 2 more as well. So we've got 3 of them, which we rip around in Shropshire. But Ben, who is the most avid hour builder ever, really wants to do long trips in it, and we couldn't let him do it by himself. So we fancied a proper adventure. And where better for an adventure than Glenforsa? The only downside is our cruise speed is at 67 knots, which is slow to say the least. And our fuel tanks aren't very big at all. I think mine's 30 litres. So there's quite a few fuel stops on the way, and it took us, how long did it take us? It took us 3 days. It was meant to be 4 days, but it took us 3 days. What we had to cancel on the weather. But yeah, we had a dream, and the dream was me and Ben chatting in the office here at Sleap, dreaming about flying around the Isle of Mull and all the lovely valleys and all the sounds and lakes and everything up there. And we thought, we've got to fly the monos up there. It's just the best place to fly. And flying around here in Shropshire countryside is good, but up there it must be something else. So that was the mission, to go and fly a local flight in Glenforsa at sunset on a nice evening.
Nice. So what route
took a lot of doing.
Brilliant. What route did you take?
We went here from Sleap International to Sherburn, and then from Sherburn to Fishburn, and then Fishburn to Airshot. We did that on the first day. That took us about 6 hours, maybe slightly less, 5 hours all told. We were meant to leave on a Thursday, but the weather was just, it was quite clear, but it was 30 knots, and 30 knots on an aeroplane that weighs 270 kilos is not a good idea. So we went and watched Top Gun instead. I've seen it about 17 million times now. Anyway, so we went all the way up there. Sherburn's lovely, and then obviously Fishburn, and then we camped overnight at Airshot, which is what that picture is there. It's pretty windy up in Airshot as well, so we all camped behind the fuel bowser to stay warm. So we had the 2 monos, which you can see there, the 150, which is owned by His Majesty Max, and then the Cub, which is a syndicate which we're all in, and then you can see Lewis's 182 behind, and then the very brown Turbo Arrow, which was being flown by Ben Sluman. So that was the fleet. They all went at surprisingly different speeds, needless to say, but we did do a manage from after Airshot. We did a big wing, and we flew up as a huge formation for the next stop, which is Lempitlaw, as a big wing. It was great.
Now we've got some great pictures. There must have been some learning points on all this.
Yes, 39 nautical miles isn't very far unless you're doing that, and in which case 39 nautical miles equates to about the entire United States. When you're doing 39 nautical miles over water, it is in a VW powered kite. It is absolutely terrifying.
You have a life jacket?
Yeah, in a life jacket, but you obviously can't get a life raft or anything like that. I mean, I literally only had a few pairs of underpants in my aeroplane. That's all I can fit in. So a life jacket, and there was no point climbing high because they don't actually glide very well. So there was no way we were going to clear it. So we just went at 1,000 feet and flew close and just tried to ignore the sound of the engine, which sounds remarkably different when you go in there. You seem to remember that it's been stolen from the back of a VW Beetle and it's all hand built. Oh, the stress. The solution, if anyone's wondering, is to put your A20s on and play music really loudly, because that calms you down. No end.
Oh, brilliant. So what was the best kind of memory from the whole trip?
I mean, there was too many to count. One of them is that photo, which was arriving at Glenforsa. Obviously, there was a lot of emotions going there, which was relief, relief being the big one, but also a sense of pride because it was, we were doing 2-hour legs in an aeroplane that can't fly a vast amount more than that, and it's not very big, it's cold, it's uncomfortable, and it was really good fun, but at times it felt pretty hard. So it was a real sense of achievement to get there, and also excitement because we knew that the bar was going to be open when we landed. So.
And it was spectacular. It kind of made it. It was a pretty busy flying, but it kind of all came to a stop when the monos appeared. It was fantastic.
Yeah, we all just sort of rocked up, and as we seem to do, actually, it seems to be a habit of ours. But yeah, we all came in, and two of them, for some reason, one VW engine farting along sounds like you're having a fart in a bathtub, but two of them sound absolutely tremendous. They sound really good. And we're listening to each other all the way up, and we actually flew as a formation. You can see there the two of us, the 150 and the Cub, which you took the picture. We flew as a formation almost the whole way over the top of Edinburgh. We went through pretty much every major airport, international airspace. So you can see that. I think that's going over Newcastle. We went through Teesside, Newcastle, Edinburgh, Liverpool, Blackpool, pretty much everywhere we possibly could. We seemed to just get a clearance straight through their overhead. It was tremendous. It really was an adventure, to say the least.
So would you do it again?
We're going, well, I would do that again, but next year the plan is we're going to Le Mans. So we're going across the channel this time, which isn't 39 nautical miles. I've measured it. It's a bit less, but it'll still be scary. So yeah, Le Mans next year. That's the plan. We're going to go obviously for the 24-hour race. There's a strip nearby so you can fly in. So we're off again. Off we go, and no doubt it'll be terrifying as well, but that's what we like.
Shouldn't you be leaving?
So, shouldn't we be what, sorry?
Leaving.
What, now?
Oh yeah, now, yeah. Hilarious, yeah. I think on Skydemon it said about 12 hours. You're right, one hit. We were thinking about air-to-air refueling from the Cub because our Cub's got a massive underbelly tank, but we figured it would probably be a little bit of a logistical nightmare.
Yeah,
just a bit. Oh, so let's chat about this weekend. So, what's going on? What can we expect? Who's coming?
There it is. Look at that. That's probably my favourite piece of art ever. That is. It's our international Sleap flying, and we are allowed to call it that because we've got a few airplanes coming from Europe, not just the UK. We've got an amazing selection of warbirds. Never thought possible. The whole team has done incredibly well to canvas and contact the people and know the right people, because that's what it is really about knowing the right people. But we've got 9 Harvards coming, which is one of the biggest collection of Harvards ever. We've got 2 coming from Poland, which I don't think have ever been to the UK before, so it's their first time. We've got a Hurricane, Beach 18, a de Havilland Dove. Obviously, we've got the stuff that's based here as well, flying. We've got the Anson. We've got his T28, which is turning up. We've just got all sorts happening. So it'll be good fun.
So, how if people want to come, how can they come?
Yeah, so they need to book in with us obviously beforehand. They can do that via our online link, which is on our website, which is shopsharerclub.com/SleapKosh. So yeah, they can fill out a form there, or they can give us a call. You have to have contacted us before you come. You cannot just rock up on the day. So they can do that, and there's a pretty big number of airplanes coming, so it'll be a really good day. We've got live music, we've got a massive bar which is well stocked. We've got food, trade stands. We've got a lot going on, so it should be a really good day.
And great weather.
And great weather, which is absolutely remarkable. I was convinced it was going to absolutely piss it down, but no, it would appear, according to Simon, that it's going to be pretty nice.
Good.
Now, go on.
No, I was just going to say, Ed, Dave, Ian, I'm struggling to see any comments, so if you can see any questions in there, please flash them up. My computer's having a bit of a nightmare. But
yeah, there's nothing at the moment about the flying. So Skydriller says, which strip near Le Mans are you planning to fly into?
I'm going to have to speak to my flight organisation officer, Ben Gilmore, who's in charge of all village flying. and he will be able to tell me that, because he's the one that's found out. He just went to me, oh, we've got to go to Le Mans, I was like, all right then, let's go. I just follow Ben. And when we ever go flying as a pair, I'm always the one who's tucked in behind, never leading. Leading's boring.
And I've got to say that monos to Le Mans sounds pretty good.
I think it will make for quite a good flyer article myself.
Absolutely.
I think so too.
Yeah. Have you flown each other's? And do they
this is a very good question. And I'm going to publicly out Tom Bieber here for not letting us fly his yet. We've all flown Ben's, because Ben's had it as the longest. We went and picked up ours. Mine's the yellow and blue one with George, and Tom's got a dark blue one. We went and picked up ours from the boys who used to own them up at Airshot, and we figured it might be a good idea to have a fly one before we went off. So Ben very kindly let us fly his, and we've all flown Ben's, but we've only flown our own after that. So I think one evening, sometime soon, I think we're gonna have to get on Visi cover, do some insurance shuffling around, and off we go.
Yeah, open pilot policy on all the aeroplanes, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And we all know that the yellow and blue one is by far the best one. It's certainly got the most attractive pilot. Saturday or Sunday, it's both days, yeah. So it's Saturday and Sunday. You're more than welcome to camp over Saturday night. We've got a party late until the evening, should be finished around midnight. So obviously you can't leave at dark. So you can, there we go, look. You can camp over and you can get drunk and enjoy some music with us. So yeah.
Good. Oh yes, the museum open.
Will be, yeah, that will be open. That'll be open. I think it opens at 10. I can't even remember. But that'll be open from 10. And please do feel free to have a look around there. It's actually a really good museum. It gets vastly underappreciated at Sleap, but it is really quite interesting. And we've got, like I said, we've got so much to see. You're not going to get bored for just coming for the day. We've got so many types coming and so many different things. And there's also pleasure flights as well. So there's Avro and some pleasure flights and T6 pleasure flights going on. So there's an awful lot.
And food-wise, obviously you've got your great cafe there. Is there some stuff outside as well?
There is. We've got a catering unit outside as well, and then obviously our cafe's open inside, and we've got a very posh bar which is reserved for weddings. Please, no one turn up in a white dress. But we've got a very nice bar which has a vast selection of IPAs, which was ordered by one of our members. He said you must have nice IPAs, and we certainly arranged that for him. So no, we've got some really nice stuff in terms of the food and the drink coming. We've got some good trades guys coming. Flyer magazine will be there as well, of course. Grass is available only by prior permission. You need to get in contact with us for. It's not actually a designated runway. It's just somewhere you can land nearby. So you do need to contact with us, and we might say no, depending on how we get on. Avgas available this weekend at Sleap, always, and it's the UK's cheapest rate. I think it's very flexible at the moment, but I believe we're back down to UK's cheapest at £2.43, including VAT. If there is anywhere cheaper, we'd be delighted to know. Our member rate is £2.33, including VAT, which for just £150 a year is a very, very cheap rate.
Yes. It was like, for a moment there, it's like the Shropshire Aero Club membership was going to go way up.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot wait for the days it says one again. I'm sure we'll get there eventually. God knows what's going to have to happen to get it there, but I'm sure we'll see one again soon. I for one, can't wait.
And I feel there might be an in-joke going on here, and I'm going to have to raise one. Lewis Phillips says, will the Village Aviation Group be at SleapKosh?
So I've been egged on. We've nicknamed ourselves the Village Aviation Group. Please don't ask why. It's a very long-winded and complicated joke. But yes, the Village Aviation Group will be there. We'll be out in force. No doubt Lewis will be very drunk, because that's what he seems to like doing. So there'll be a really good mix of both young and old people, which is precisely what I want to see. I really want to see more young people in aviation. All our staff here are super young. They're all pilots. I'm the oldest member of staff, and I'm not very old. So it's it'll be really good to see. I really want to see as many. It will not have a stand. Absolutely. Our monos are on display though. Actually, if you are interested in seeing that, we have lined up all our monos. So, there you go. 1 pence. Pit me out. I'm gonna have to just lower it by 1 pence now.
Oh, good.
Brilliant.
Good. Have you still got all your runway lights?
Yeah. They're all there as well. Looks like the runway we're going to be using today for the event is 3.6. Looking at the wind, but it should be that. So do expect an arrival for 3.6 when you call up. So if you have booked in, please book in with us. Don't just turn up.
When have you got a deadline for people booking in?
On the day, really, as long as you contact us. So obviously, if you're coming on the Sunday, feel free to contact us on the Saturday. If you're coming on the Saturday, please try and do it on the Friday in case we max out. We really do need to be heard from you before you turn up. I would like to stress that so much. But everyone's welcome. Every type's welcome. Almost every type's welcome. There it is. Look at that. So no, please do come down. And camp as well. We've got an amazing number of people camping this year. Hence the name SleapKosh. The whole camping on the wing thing. It seemed to catch on in the UK. We certainly did it, and I think it should be promoted more. And we need to show the Americans that we can also do it here.
Yeah, well, I'll be there in the morning to pitch my tent.
Oh, good.
Great.
Is it a big one?
No.
Oh dear.
Good. Right, Bruce. Thank you. Any other questions, chaps?
I don't think so.
Yes, you can, David. I've just read that one.
There we go. I wonder if I can leave my own party to go to Sleap. Yeah, totally.
Just invite all you get. Maybe don't actually. That is actually a side note as well. The event is not open for road access. It's a shame that we can't do it, but we just do not have the capacity to take both flying in visitors and road access visitors as well. The event is obviously open to Shropshire Aero Club members. You can join, you can become a member. Oh, I sound like Fly Magazine now. But
nothing wrong with that.
You can sign up and access, but there is no road access for general public. You can't buy a ticket, and we will turn you away on the gate. So please don't make the trip because we don't want to disappoint you.
Very reasonable
stuff. Bruce, thank you.
No worries at all. Thank you very much.
We'll see you over the weekend, and
we'll see.
Thanks for joining us.
I'll see you on Saturday. I'll get my suntan on.
Good stuff. Right, time for Fancy Hanger.
Richard Kennedy says, "How much a quarter for the Shropshire Aero Club?"
Yeah, it was 150 a year, he said, wasn't it? So,
yeah,
do the math.
I can't remember if you get free landings and stuff like that. If you remember, Johnny, you might know, but and it's one of probably
Bruce
one of the
saying no.
Yeah, okay, no, but it is a really big happening place, isn't it? And it's like a GA hub for the UK. So
absolutely
tremendous. So, Fancy Hanger, inspired by the trip that Bruce and his mates made to Glenforsa in their low-cost Taylor monoplanes, we thought we'd go looking in the classifieds for sub-10K fun adventure aeroplanes. So, who is first?
Well, according to this list, which doesn't change, I'm first. So I'm gonna go first, and I'm not expecting to win tonight. In fact, I'm expecting to be ridiculed by some people for this choice. But I was kind of looking through, and the actual challenge was the best fun you could have for something that's in the classifieds for less than 10 grand. That's obviously an aeroplane, not anything else in classifieds, clearly. And I kind of thought you really need to get back to real base grassroots flying. So I went for the Snake. Look at that. I mean, it's a simple sub 70 kilogram trike. That means sub 70 kilogram, you don't even need a license, or frankly, that would be a pretty silly thing, but you don't need a license. It's an SSDR, so you've not got any involvement with the authorities. You can fly on a PM. Well, you don't even know if you probably don't even need a PMD if you don't need a license, do you? You just need nothing. Just that track and engine combination without the wing is for sale for $5,000 in the classifieds. And I've been on the website, and you can add a wing for I think for about another $3,000, or you can, if you want a sophisticated wing, you can go up a bit more. But there's plenty of leeway in there. So there you go. You can get it. You can also get it with Tundra tires. I mean, how much fun is that? Like Tundra tires. You can go into all sorts of places all winter, although you could probably have to wear one of those Mr. Blobby suits in the winter. But I reckon that's a great, pure, basic, seat of the pants, flying fun. There you go. I reckon it's going to be too heavy for scaffolding tubes.
And I know you joked about when Bruce was going to have to leave for Le Mans, in his monoplanes, but the monos probably seem like big fast twins compared to your Snake.
It'll seem like a Cirrus compared to but the Snake is going to be one of those. It's not a smile per mile airplane, it's a smile per minute airplane, isn't it? You just fly it for just the pure fun of flying. And evening like tonight would be absolutely gorgeous. I bet, just floating around, dropping into little strips. That'd be lovely. And the cheap as chips, literally, probably cheaper than chips. You could probably spend more on a portion of chips on your way back. But I don't mind. I don't mind not winning. I just think that's what you need to do.
It's a good choice.
There you go. So next on the list is Dave.
And actually, your choice is brand new. Is nearly new, isn't it? So
yeah, I think that one's got 2 hours on it or something like that. But it's pretty much. I mean, you can go on their website and you can pick a whole combination of stuff, and you can get a brand new everything with some really classy things for less than $15,000 if you buy it brand new. The Snake has everything you need and nothing else. Yeah, thank you, Jane. I like it too.
Yeah.
Dave, suck it to us.
Well, I already have in my fantasy hangar a thruster microlight, which it's a very nice bimbling aircraft. But because it was already there, I couldn't choose that. I went looking through some classifieds in the States, and I came up with something called a Bowers Flybaby, and it's a lovely looking aeroplane. It's a bronze Lindy winner from Oshkosh. It's got an A65 up front. It's got 230 hours total time, slip bags. It's been featured in Kit Planes magazine. It's a lovely thing. It's just I've got to negotiate the price a little bit. That's all, because it's on at $12,500. But I'm sure I can get that down by $1,000. Get it up the budget.
So it's a little bit over budget at the moment, and it's in America.
Yes.
So shipping. So obviously, if you're going to jump in it and ferry fly it over, then that could work.
Well, there's a challenge.
But that is a lovely choice. But I think at $7,000 for a container to ship it in might be budget busting.
I think there's also the small matter of 20% VAT on it when you land. So even if you negotiate down by $1,000,
that's it. As Paul Fraser-Benison said, the engine's nearly worth that alone.
Yes.
I mean, if I was in the States, I'd be seriously looking at buying one of those. Yeah. Because that is amazing value. I mean, I think, and it's a great choice, Dave. It's just unfortunately you've disqualified yourself, and you can take part in the competition, but you can't actually win. I'm not even sure you get a participation medal for this one. But, nice aeroplane.
Who's next?
You are, Ed.
Oh, right. Okay. So I went looking on. I ended up on A4s, and this is a fairly newish advert. And I picked this, a lovely little Jodel D9, dating back to 1946. Obviously, the Edouard Jolet and John Delamonte got together to create Aviation Jodel, and they made kits, plans, and material available to home builders. And the D9 was the first Jodel, and brought the whole constant chord sense section with tapered, swept-up tips into the whole pilot psyche. The D9 gives you 70 knots on 60-ish VW horsepower, 250 nautical miles range. And this example, while the owner says it's a tiny bit, it says It's slightly tatty but flies beautiful. Is just $6,500 or near offer, and I think that's what an incredible amount of flying, but not much. So just looks tremendous. Yeah, 1600 VW, 1600 cc VW engine. I bet even Bruce might like that one. So,
if I had the hangar space, I'd be very tempted to buy that.
I think what the low cost end of stuff shows you is that you could have, if you've got the hangar space and a little bit of cash, actually you could fill that hangar with all sorts of great aeroplanes.
Imagine you had like a 50k budget and the hangar space. You could probably have 4 really great fun airplanes in it. But I don't know. Yeah, you could. You need a lot of time to fly 4 airplanes, though.
That's it. Yeah. So that just leaves Johnny.
Yeah, here we go. I've gone for air bike.
Wow.
Look at this. $9,500, which obviously means there is either a container or a long flight involved. But this is freshly restored, Rotax 447, 3-blade prop, as you can see, fresh paint. It's even got BRS.
Wow.
There's a reason for that.
I like the way you say fresh paint, Johnny. It's not like there's a lot of it on there.
No, half a can.
Richard Kennedy says, "Is it finished?"
This is the new style, Richard. This is what people do. People are modding Cubs so they look like this in Valdez in Alaska for stole competitions. Not that you compete in this thing, but it's a new aesthetic.
Bruce has made the perhaps best discovery of the whole night of fancy hangar. He says the bloke in the back of the image file. I hadn't spotted that there is, in fact, there is a lurker in the back of that photo.
Nor did I.
Probably not.
No.
For anyone who's considering an air bike, can I suggest that you fire up your internet browser, go over to YouTube, and look up a guy called Jonas Marcinko, Marcinko. I think he's been doing a little bit of flying recently in an air bike, and there's some interest. Yeah, go take a look. Anyway, that's what I can say.
I think that
he's an entertaining YouTuber.
Yeah, fabulous machine.
Yes, absolutely.
However, the audience seems to think that Ed wins.
Yeah. Again.
There's a lot of it. Colin Elder has nicknamed your air bike the skeletal plane.
Yeah.
Peter says, liking the cabin heater. I think it's going to need quite a heater for that, Peter. Jodo wins. Ed wins. Good news for Johnny on the crosswind front. Crosswinds will just blow through. So, or Mark Saunders says it's like trendy jeans. You've got lots of holes.
Well, I suspect that is an Ed wins week.
There's a couple of Ian wins.
Ooh.
African Eagle reminds us that Dave won last week.
That's true, Dave. You won last week,
even though he wasn't here.
Yeah. We sold it for you.
Dave should win, but was disqualified. Even if Dave looks cool. There we go. Dave wins. There we go, Dave. Aviator Steve is a breaker of rules.
Yeah. And you know what happened to the last breaker of rules, don't you?
Yes.
Came unemployed today.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Events.
Right. So this week, Friday, Saturday is aerobatic competition at Compton Abbas. Saturday, Pilot Careers Live in Manchester. Saturday, Suffolk LAA fly-in at Monudon. I think that's how you say it. Also on Saturday, an Oxford LAA fly-in at Enstone. Of course, Saturday and Sunday, there's the international Sleap fly-in, SleapKosh. Just looking ahead very quickly, the 15th to the 17th of July is RIAT, the Royal International Air Tattoo at Fairford. On the 16th of July, there's a Flexwing microlight flying at Darley Moor. They're doing this to try and re-energise the Flexwing movement. 18th to the 22nd of July is the Farnborough International Air Show, so don't go anywhere near Farnborough's airspace. It'll be tad busy.
I thought I heard that you could fly into Farnborough this year. You didn't need PPR or anything. You just pitched up and called on the radio. No?
Oh, yes, you could probably try that. Yeah.
I think you probably don't even need a radio. Just, it'll be, there's not be a lot going on. Just pitch up. Flyer did not endorse any of that behaviour.
No, absolutely. Definitely not. Good. Thank you. Good. Johnny.
Yeah, well, just join the club, please, because we'd love to have you. You've got until midday on Tuesday, 12th of July, £30 a year or 52 after that. You get loads of great benefits, not least all of the content that we produce, because that's what's going behind the paywall. And you'll get also, all the free landing vouchers, discounts with the likes of Poolies and Transair, etc. So go along to the website, fly.co.uk/membership.
And although they won't be there from Tuesday, we will be introducing in the near future some member-only areas of the forum. Most of the forum will still be there and available for people to use and see and everything else, but there will be some member-only areas in there as well. So please jump online, get your credit card out, and join. That's all. Thank you very much. I hope to see you on Saturday at Pilot Careers Live North on the way back on Saturday as I fly over Sleap on the way back to Wiltshire. That's it from me. Thank you very much, everyone. We have nailed the timing tonight. We are 8:30, spot on. So thanks very much, everyone. Thank you, team. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Dave, I hope we came up to the standards and made it this week. And it is a beautiful, beautiful night out there. They'll probably still go flying if you're close enough. So thanks very much, everyone.
Yeah.
Fly safe.
Bye-bye.